Hello, everybody. MJ Schwab here from currently dark Arizona, but it's actually really cold here. We're down in the 40s, so and probably thinking, wow, that's warm, but no, it's very cold for us. The topic that I have chosen for this prompt is for this video um, discussion board post is on what my paper was originally going to be for this class, but because a bunch of things happened. First of all, my dad died in early December, and then we all, pretty much everybody in the house here, except for a couple people, got COVID on New Year's Eve morning, or starting on New Year's Eve morning. And so I didn't get a chance to do this that I wanted to do. Honestly, I didn't even think of it. My mind wasn't working. It's only barely working now. But I had wanted to do my grandfather and grandmother's liquor store business that they opened in Chicago in the 1930s after they came over from Germany. They opened it with my grandfather's brother. Now, this is on my dad's side. So my great uncle, who we called Unc, and my grandfather and grandmother opened this liquor store. And of course, they had, um, it was basically a mom and pop store at this point. People would come in and get their domestic beers and wines and spirits, and it was just like a regular neighborhood liquor store. But what happened was World War II, and of course, um, they probably did no better or no worse than anybody else did uh, during that time. Obviously, they wouldn't be able to get anything foreign. That would have been difficult at best. Not that they sold much foreign in the 1930s and 1940s. But what happened was then the war ended. And one of this week's um, uh, scholarly journals really kind of got to me about what the problem is with oral history. How technical is technology research? Well, you're thinking, well, liquor store, that's not technology really, but it kind of is when you hear this story. And this is what I kept thinking about: is people not understanding the technology in this story this woman wrote. And so um, what happened was the war ended, and Europe eventually opened up. And so what my grandmother and grandfather did was they sent Unc to Europe to see what he could find. So he came back. Of course, they sent him with a ton of money too. He came back with a lot of wine and beer, mostly from Germany, but some of it from other places. France, a lot of wine from France. He went to Spain, allegedly met Federico Franco, the uh, dictator, I guess, for lack of a better word, of Spain. I was always a little skeptical about the stories that Unc, my grandfather and grandma, and of course I was very young when they died, and so I didn't get a chance to ask them adult type questions that I'd love to ask them today. Another problem with oral history is you have to rely on the memories of others. And so, with my dad not being around, I asked my mother about some of this, and she remembers a ton. But these aren't her parents, and these are parents of her husbands that didn't even really like her very much. Thought she was too young for them. They thought she was from the other side of the tracks. She was Catholic. There were a ton of problems in their minds. So, but what happened in the 1950s, post World War II, is technology got even stronger. So, Unc in the 1930s would have been very difficult. He'd have taken a ship across to Europe to get all this stuff. But in the 50s and especially in the 60s, then he could jet over there, and so he could bring back all kinds of stuff. Asia eventually opened up. He went there. He got all kinds of stuff there. And so what happened in the 1950s is the liquor store got big, got too big actually. And so they opened up a whole bunch of other liquor stores. And they bought a warehouse. I have no idea where the warehouse is. Nobody seems to in my family. But I could get some information on where most, if not all, of the liquor stores were. Of course, the original one was at roughly Ashland Avenue and 47th in Chicago. But This is the really cool thing about history, this technical aspect, or the technological aspect, technological advancements. I really enjoy that. I think, and the ways to get across geography, the historical geography map, faster and faster. Where in the 1930s, Unc would have gone across on a steamship, and it would have taken him, a week there, a week back. It would have been horrendous. Um, but in the 1950s, and especially in the 1960s, he is going across in a matter of hours, and he's he can acquire things faster, and the business can grow faster. And that's what happened. These are true entrepreneurs. They advanced, and they continue to advance, and I wish it could have continued under my father. So, but he didn't. So, thank you.